come on in, everybody. Cheers after the weekend in Sonoma. You're watching Green-White-Checkered finish your best hangover cure as far as NASCAR goes. My name's Bo Estes. This right here is Mike Bell, and he's got a message for all you fans.
That's right, guys. You guys are part of the show. It's interactive. Your comments on the three biggest stories from the racing weekend as we were in wine and cheese country at Sonoma.
I liked your wrestling point at the camera as well.
Let me tell you something, brother. This show involves you.
Very well, very well. Good job. Hey, green flag topic. Mike Bell, I've got a question for you, and I know you're an open wheel kind of guy. Let's talk about it. Should we have a third road course race and one in the chase, or with stock cars, do you want to get rid of these road course races altogether? Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I know I'm in the minority on this one, but I love this stuff. To me, this is the truest test of who are the best racers out there. You're doing lefts, doing rights, shifting. How many guys go to work only driving left? I mean, to me, this is what we do every day in the real world. I love it. I know they'll never add a third race, but I would love to see maybe this Sonoma race part of the chase. Then we'll truly decide who the champions are. Do a super speedway, do a short track, do intermediate, and do something like this. I love this. I can't get enough of it. And by the way, those road course specialists, they're not as good anymore because the NASCAR guys, see Clint Bowyer, have gotten better on this track. So if they put their minds to it, they can overcome tracks like Sonoma.
Well, before we get to my thoughts, real quick, Greg Clarkson, one of our fans, says if you have to run road courses in the regular season, then it should be part of the chase to prove the champion can win or at least be strong on everything. You agree with that?
I agree. I know, guys, the fans out there, the casual fan or the hardcore fan, they don't like this stuff. I want my ovals, dang it. But I do. I think it's a lot of fun. I just wish they came up with multiple tires so we weren't just always counting back fuel, and that's how they run these races. I think if you take away that element of just simply gas and mileage and all that nonsense, we'd have a little more action out there.
And by the way, the sponsors, executives, they'd like to go out to Sonoma one more time.
Yeah.
You know that much,
You
Mike.
ain't lying.
Hey, moving on quickly, our white flag topic. Kurt Busch, the much maligned Kurt Busch, had a chance to jump Clint Bowyer late in this race and go on for the win. Kurt Busch did not do that, Mike Bell. Breaking news. Should he have done it, though? What would have been the reaction also?
Well, Kurt Busch 5 or 6 years ago drops him like first period French. Are you kidding me? He would have taken him out like that. But obviously he's on what, double, triple, quadruple suspension now? So Kurt Busch had to do the right thing also. He knew it would be a very unpopular move because this is Clint Bowyer's first road course win. I do say this though about Kurt. Maybe he's paid his penance. You saw a lot of guys high-fiving him and giving him congratulations after the race. So perhaps he's done enough now because obviously he's been thrown under the bus and the bus has ran him over. He deserves it, but I thought a classy race by Kurt could have won it.
Follow-up question. Would every other driver, including would Tony Stewart, have dumped Clint Bowyer?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Harvick, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon in his prime, Keselowski, all these guys would. But because Kurt Busch, and he put himself in this box of acting like a moron the last 3 seasons. So, no, he could not do what most drivers would. It's his fault.
I still think Kurt Busch, if he gets a win, even if he dumps Clint Bowyer, it's really good for that team. It's really, really good for that team. So it was amazing that he didn't do it.
Guy's a talented race car driver, but there's no sponsorship on that car for a reason. He's become toxic in this sport.
You know what? Kurt Busch figures into our checkered finish as we move along in the show. Who is the most surprising driver to have won in Sonoma since 2008? Is it Clint Bowyer? Is it Kurt Busch? Is it Jimmy Johnson? Is it Casey Kane? Or is it Kyle Busch? Mike Bell, your thoughts?
Well, Kyle Busch, these guys are really talented. He can win like his brother on almost any surface. I think Casey Kane's one of the more surprising ones, just like Clint. As Casey Kane said, I'm just a kid from Washington. What do I know about this sort of stuff? I think if you really put your mind to it, you get better at it. I think with VIR and people, whether it's tire test or practicing there in Virginia, these guys have gotten better. Dale Jr. was trying to get better a couple years ago when he wrecked that Corvette, had that scary accident, will never go back. Jimmy Johnson was terrible on this stuff and got better. I think Casey Kane's one of the best or biggest surprises, like Bowyer, because you never expected these guys to do it on lefts and rights.
Well, I think you eliminate Kyle and Kurt Busch. I think they're just so talented that they can't be considered a surprise. Also, 5-time can't be considered a surprise. So I'm down to Casey and I'm down to Clint. Casey has 13 career wins. He won for Richard Petty Motorsports. That's impressive to me, but that comes in second place. Clint Bowyer gets the first ever win for Michael Waltrip Racing this season. Only his 6th win of his career. That's amazing to me. That's the most surprising of all of them.
And MWR, they loaned that car to Brian Vickers as well, and he ran well as well in a Toyota. So
yes.
Those guys have got it cooking. When's Carl Edwards going to get better at this left and right stuff? He's supposed to be one of the best drivers in the sport.
He's got to get better in a hurry. But to me, again, the most impressive Clint Bowyer. It was an unbelievable thing. Finally, it's our favorite parts of the show, Mike Bell. We're going to put a bow on it right here. And my thoughts, we're going to expand on Kurt Busch a little bit. After the race, Kurt Busch was the first one to go over and congratulate Clint Bowyer, the guy he didn't dump. Then he was wonderful with the media. And in fact, after his media session, he was one of the top 3 drivers, so he went to the media room. he got some light applause from the reporters. Yes, light applause. So sympathy for the devil, perhaps. Yes. It's Kurt Busch doing well this weekend, and we're happy for him. Put a bell on it.
All right, for the closing bell, pretty simple. We've taken a lot of shots. Okay, I've taken shots. I want to lump Bo in on this.
Come on.
But Danica Patrick. When is Danica going to win a race? When's she going to step up and live up to the hype? Danica had an amazing run going in the Nationwide. They were also going lefts and rights at Road America. She gets dumped by Jacques Villeneuve. Formula 1 champion. Really Busch move by him. She had a great car going. Danica was capable of winning this race. Hats off to her. She was never that good lefts and rights in the old Indy cars. Danica had a great job going. Pro driver, very solid this weekend.
As bad as Jacques Villeneuve's move was, if you've heard his album, it's worse, Mike Bell. I'm going to tell you that right now. Jacques Villeneuve has an album out. Very frightening. He's Mike. I'm Bo. We thank you for watching Green, White, Checkered Finish, everybody.